And look, you guys, first you open the project. All right, I'm using here my tablet. Okay, and let me open here the Cursor Pro in order to show you my cursor. Okay, I hope you guys can see better, and perhaps the keycast tree, the way that you can see my keyboard on here below. Okay, so I hope you guys can see. And look, you guys, the way that I did here is everything synchronized by the symbols. All right, as you guys can see. Look, this is the layers. All right, and please don't move these layers on here. Don't move this one. Okay, if you want to change, try to change on here in this one. Let me zoom this more on here, or in this big one. Let me show right now. This layer here inside of this one, I will hide this one. Okay, there is a rectangle on here. Let me explain each step. There is a rectangle that is grouping all the layers that we get done outside. Let me show you right now in more practical way. I'm selecting the rectangle, this one, and if I draw on here, it's going to draw in outside. Why this is happening? Because this rectangle needs to be inside of this rectangle on here. You know, this rectangle that is called create inside. All right, and if I change this color on here, it's going to change all other colors. All right, let me hide this one as well. And so if you want to design your patterns like I'm doing right now, you need to create the object inside of this one on here. Okay, I hope I'm being clear with you about this. All right, so again, if you want to make the patterns, you need to change and create everything inside of this one. You can create on here. Let me show you. For example, if you want to make a tile like I'm creating, okay, you just need to, let me make this a solid like this. Okay, and you just need to duplicate like I'm doing. Okay, look, quite easy, isn't it? And why this is so important, I'm gonna explain now. It's because I have here some, let me open my Telegram. This is my room that I did, and I have some patterns. So basically, patterns is something that repeat ceaselessly. I hope I'm pronouncing correctly, but this is what patterns means. And think about when you look at the ground, and when you look at the walls patterns. I can design this. I'm gonna do this in real time in order to show you how you guys can do patterns, and it's so important, guys. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna copy. Okay, I got this photo on here, and I like to send to Telegram in order to send to myself on when I'm in computer. Let me just delete these ones, and I'm going to paste. I'm going to create a layer. I'm going to paste on here. Look, just to show you what happens if you do this. Look how nice it is. I'm going to crop this. Okay, click on here. I'm using Affinity on desktop because I think it's better, to manage all the things that I want to bring on here. Okay, look, I've just sliced this one, and I will just drag this one, okay, and apply inside of this one, create inside, okay. And look what I did. The photo that I got on my background, the real photo, it has become a cube. This is just a preview cube. All right, this is a very nice, guys. Look, and it's free. It's free. You guys can use this and export. I'm gonna use this one. I'm not going to vector this. I'll use this photo, really. And in order to export, please pay a lot of attention about this. In case you don't know, you are going to click here on here, export persona. Okay, export persona, and look, it's already done the slice. You just need to rename on here the name of this pattern. I will call this as polygonal. Okay, polygonal. And look, there is a settings that I did for you already. You know, it is in full HD. I mean in high quality, but you guys can resize on here. You know, you can export as 500. You know, it depends about in which resolution you want. As we are working with vector, I highly recommend you to have, you know, all the things that you are creating, because these patterns here are going to be exported as PNG, and it is a kind of bitmap. It's a pixel, it's not vector. All right, just to let you know that the patterns are not vector. And let me show you, and there is a name already on here. Okay, it's quite easy. I'm going to export right now. It is, let me open here, example. Okay, icons. I'm going to export on here, and look, I just type on here polygonal, and the name is here already, and also the size of this pattern that I've created. Okay, tile polygonal, and I'm going to export right now. Guys, I'm trying to explain in my best way. Okay, this is why I'm getting a bit slow, so don't quit if you get impatient, you know. And I'm going to open right now the project. Okay, this project here, and just to show you how my room is again, it is look like this. This is my room. Okay. And there is a pattern on here. This is a very, you know, humble room, I'd say. I invest a lot of money on this. Really. And look, I'm going to press G, fill tool, okay, and click here bitmap. Okay, bitmap. Remember, bitmap is pixel. I will click now at this tile here, tile polygonal. This one is from the example that I did, you know. And click here, open. And now you just need to resize this. Okay, you just need to resize. And look, the perspective is not correct because of the isometric. In order to change this, you need to press some commands on here until you know, it depends about which command you are using. For example, is Mac or Windows, you know, there is not a, you know, a rule for all of them. But here I'm pressing Control and Command, as you guys can see here below, and I can change this in a correct perspective. Okay, and look, I have here a pattern from my wall. And of course, if you want to change this color, look, pay attention. This technique is very awesome, guys. Really. If you try to change the color, it's going to, you know, replace the bitmap that we have on here, because the fill tool is a bitmap. It's not a rectangle. It's not a solid color or a gradient. And in order to make a kind of color, I suggest you to create this. Look, I'm going to pressing this button, layer effects. You guys will see color overlay. Okay, and there is options on here, and for this one there is not a rule. You know, you need to check which ones fits better for you. I like to use perhaps the linear light. I need to see. Look, I can change the color just using the layer effects. It's very awesome. Okay, look, it's red. This is a way that I really like to create the things. Alright, this is one option to create colors over your pattern. Okay, another option is you just need to duplicate this, okay, this layer, and you are going to change the color. And now I'm going to create a gradient. Okay, press G in order to select the fill tool. And now you just need to select on here the layers blend mode and change the blend mode. Okay, look, this one you need to test. All right, you need to test which one fits. As I said, there is not a rule, and if you want to make a kind of, you know, a dungeon cavern, there's a lot of things that you guys can do. Really, this is why I love Affinity. In this situation, it's in real time. This one, you know, I just need to hover the mouse, but I'm thinking about to use overlay. Let's try. And if you guys change the color behind change as well. Okay, look, I can change this. The color intensity, and here we go. As well in this one, okay, like this. And look, you guys, you can even work for architecture, I guess. I'd say. And all right, let's take a look at another pattern. Let's create another pattern just to let you really good on this. I want to help you to build your patterns. Okay, another pattern that I have, let me open here. It is, let's do the wall. Okay, this one I'm gonna copy. Guys, just remember, if you like this video, please leave it a like, because this helps a lot the channel. You know, there is a YouTube algorithm that just help people that have like and comments, you know. All right, so I'm going to, let me see. Okay, open again this, and I will paste on here. Okay, the pattern. Another screen actually. I will paste on here. For this one, I think we will need to, I want to create a pattern for this one. Okay, like this. And look at the image and try to do that. For this one, I think I will not be capable, you know, to place on here, because the image is a bit distorted, I guess. And I will create these lines on here. Okay, look again inside of this one, create inside. Okay, if I draw a rectangle, it's going to draw in all of them, and you guys can select this, you know, directly and just duplicate. I'm thinking to do exactly the same way that I have on here. Two shapes, okay, like this. Light works like this: shadow, light, shadow, light. Okay, so the same thing. Now I'm going to bring on onto here. I will group this. Okay, I will group, and now I'll duplicate to another one on here. Okay, look. I will group these both shapes and bring it to here. I'll group them again, and now I can just duplicate the multiple times. Look, there's a pattern already done, guys. This is so crazy and nice. I don't know, you know, if this can be useful to you, because I work with games and we need to use this a lot, you know. And let me just export this. Okay, I will call this as, let's call this as lines. I'd say lines, just lines, vertical lines. Okay, guys, please, if you want to make some questions, you can leave it to later on. Okay, I'm just focused on here, but you can leave your questions already. Export it easily, and now I'm going to apply that same technique that I did. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate this layer. Not now, but I will apply the first filter. Bitmap. Guys, try to relax, you know, and enjoy the live streaming, because it's very simple and easy to do that. And look, we have already the result, and I can, let me resize this. Okay, it's quite simple and easy to do. I need to do a lot of this, you know, for games, and this is why I have a good experience, I'd say, about this. And now I've just duplicated this layer. All right, and now I'm using the fill tool, and again, if you're a very beginner, rewatch this. Okay, you need to have a bit of patience to learn the things if you can't follow this in real time. Look, I'm just changing here the layers blending. Okay, I will leave it like this. Look how nice it is. All right, for the floor, let's do another one for the floor. The last one, all right, it's this one. My floor is dirty, I need to clean this. And let me just open on here, Pay attention to this process, guys. All right. And I'm going to group all of this and hide. I don't need to use this anymore. I just need to click here, hide. Okay. It is perfect, really. And look, I'm going to create some rectangles. All right. This one we need to apply. Let me show you. This one we need to apply a stroke. As you guys can see, it's an outline. Guys, just to let you know that you can join my Patreon, alright, to grab more tutorials on there. There's a lot of tutorials already. And the community is getting really big. We have already 100 members. It's very awesome. Most of them are here already watching this tutorial. And look, guys, I'm just duplicating this. Okay, and look, try always to keep things organized. Just group them. All right, press this button on here. I think you guys will see. Command G. All right, I don't know why this goes off. Command G and resize. Duplicate this onto here. Look here in real time. Real time we have. This is look like a. What's that called? Rubik's Cube. Look here, the Rubik's Cube we have on here. No, not this one. If you change this color, this look like the Rubik's Cube. Just to show you, okay, how nice is this. We can design this. Excuse me, guys. Let me back this. I'm gonna do this as white. Okay. I will select all of them and make it as. Try to make as gray. Why? If you apply a color on here, you will not be able to change the color. You know, add the color related things. I'm gonna explain it to you better. And this is my tile for the ground. I'm gonna export this right now. Quite simple and easy. Squares, and click on here this button, export and open there, and here you go. Let's apply this to the ground. I think you guys are getting really familiar, you know, about this. And bitmap, guys, I have to say, with more you repeat, more you get better. You know, if you look at my drawing and my first designs, it was horrible, really. And what makes you good, it's the amount of time you spend and the amount of time you practice. This is a simple thing. It's the same for me, you know. I have to confess, my English is not the best one, but you know, if you watch my first video, it was really horrible. And now it's getting a bit better. And look here, we have already the ground applied. I can move this and resize this. I hope you guys are really enjoying this, you know, because this is a very awesome. Because I can't see anybody that is teaching this kind of stuff on the internet. When I was beginning, I couldn't find. And I will now change the color on here. I will duplicate it, change the color, and now I'm going to apply a nice technique using G. Okay, it is fill tool, and I will apply the opacity low. I'm using a gradient, all right, in order to create this aspect of 3D shadow. And what makes art like 3D is the way that you manage the colors, the shadows, the lights. This is the key about 3D arts. All right, like this, and I will leave on here for now. I can make this as a bit white, like this. Okay, I'm gonna teach you guys right now how you can add some shadows. Okay, I'm gonna teach you how you guys can add some shadows. And look, this is how I have structured my project. It's everything grouped. Alright, and this is how I love to keep my things organized. Look, there's a table on here, and in my table here it is a wood aspect, so I'm not going to create a wood on here. I have already essential patterns, textures that you guys can get on my road, okay, that I've created. And I'm going to use perhaps this one. Let me see which one can works better. No, this one is too good. Perhaps this one I think is good. And I'm going to change this color because there is a color applied on here. I want to change this color. Okay, let me see which one. The average, and let's see. You need to manage, you know, the blend mode and the color. Okay, as I said, there is not a rule about this. I'm thinking about to leave something like that because my one looks like this. Okay, you can change here the opacity if you want. Oh, look how nice is this. My one is brown like this. There's a gradient on here as well. And I almost forgot to say, I did here a gradient, you know, inside of this layer in order to apply this. But you guys can do that technique. I think is better because you can duplicate this layer and create, you know, a layer above. Let me show you. I don't want you guys get confused about this, alright? So try to slow down. And now I'm going to just change this color to white, a bit white, and change this layer blending like this. Okay, and I can change where the light is coming from. Okay, so basically the technique that I'm using here, try to create a layer above and manipulate here a bit the colors and the lights. Okay, like this. Okay, and if the text is too strong, because for me it is too strong, I will reduce, you know, the opacity. In order to do this, you can duplicate actually this one and reduce the opacity and bring this color to here. Okay, so basically what you guys are doing on here is depends how you manage your layer. Okay, and now I'm going to create a shadow here below. All right, how you guys can do that? It's quite simple. Select the layer below. You know, I have the desk. I can even hide the desk, you know, in order to do this shadow. And I will just create a rectangle. You can actually use the rectangle from the isometric, you know, this one. Click here, edit in plane, and you guys just need to create a rectangle, a dark rectangle. And look, you guys, let me activate here the desk again. It's on here. Let me just find it on here. Okay, it's here, and I will adjust this one. And now I will make this with Gaussian blur. I really like to use Gaussian blur for shadows purpose. Of course, depends about the art style you are doing. And on here, I'm going to, let me make this as black. And I will use here the transparency tool, like this. And look, I have a shadow before and after and before. Amazing, isn't it? And now I just need to create other shadows like this, and I will copy this shadow that I have on here. Just copy, select this layer on here easily, and paste style. And look, we have a shadow below of the chair. And I want to apply more shadows. You know, I can apply here below, you know, of the trash on here, even at the corner. So try to make some strategic points. Let me invert this, where you can apply more shadows. Okay, and this is much more about technical, you know, knowledge. Hello, it's 𝚘𝚌𝚘𝚛 Okay, so we did here already the tiles for the walls, a bit of gradients, textures, and now I want to teach you how you guys can apply a nice shading on here. Can you guys see this? I'm just showing you, you know, the best tips. I'm not just vectoring. It's just about techniques. Okay, and I have this shape, and now I'm going to apply using the layer effects the inner shadow. Okay, look, I have an inner shadow on here. I want to create a depth, and with inner shadow I can create a depth, and I will add here the radius in order to create a bit of shadow, you know. Following this technique, you don't need to vector everything. Small details is not very noticeable, you know, by your viewer. So in my situation here, I'm not focused on the details. And guys, at this point, I'm going to start to just add some gradients. All right, it's gonna be very simple. Dark. Let me zoom this a bit more so you guys can see. Light and dark. And dark and light. Look, this is the shading that I'm creating for my little friend on here. And I can copy this and paste on here, and of course I'm going to change the direction because it's not so nice, and I can do this. Look, copy and paste. I will try to do this for the same shape. Copy and paste. This one, I think I can bring this a bit more light, like this. Okay, and look how nice it is. The same is for the air conditioner that I have on here. I'm just adding some gradients. Thank you, 𝚅𝚎𝚌𝚘. Yeah, it was not supposed to get highly detailed, but yeah, it looks nice. I think it's because of the patterns, you know, that I did on here. And now I can add a bit of gradients. I really like to add gradients for this kind of design because it looks like a 3D, you know. I will select these three shapes, and I'm going to apply a gradient. Oops, you have to select all of them using just the gradient. And look how amazing this is now. Okay, and look, I'm going to show you right now. Let me show you about how you can add some lights. Okay, and let's first to start on here on the window. Okay, I'm going to create a shape above of this window. Let me select the window, type multiple times until you achieve the window, and I'm going to create using the P, that is the pen tool. I like to save my time. This is why I just use the hotkeys, and I'm just adding here this shape. Okay, and I will add a color, and of course this shape here needs to be above of all of other shapes. All right, of course, because this is a light. Unless we have our objects here, let me change this. And now I'm going to apply a transparency tool like this. Okay, this is the result that we got, but it's not enough yet. And let me just apply the Gaussian blur. Okay, like this. Gaussian blur, radius. Okay, it's with the inner shadow. I want to Gaussian blur. Okay, and look, you guys, we have a Gaussian blur that I don't like this aspect on here because the Gaussian I want to be applied on here, not at the beginning. And this is a very nice technique. Hey, Marcos Brito, hello my friend. Welcome. Thank you a lot for the donation, mate. And I will apply on here. A clipping, I will just create on here this clipping. It's basically the same form that I'm doing on here, Select an area that you want to clip and drag and drop inside of this shape. And look we have now a better, hard lines. We have a hard light on here, solid line, and it's getting a blurry, I'd say. And I can change this composition, if it's, look, it depends about the, I'd say, the temperature, and in order to, look guys, this is very important. Everything that I'm teaching on here is so important because it depends about the light that you are receiving, like this. Let's say that is sunset. And I'm going right now, let me place this one on here. This is the layer that I have. Okay, this is the all the layer that I have, and now I'm going to select on here this layer. You are going to create the color balance. All right, the color balance. Pay attention to this, please. Color balance, and we have three types of tonal range. That is shadow, midtones, and highlights. Of course, I'm not going to explain everything highly detailed on here. I just want to show you directly to the point. I'm going to change this to red, and look the aspect that we are receiving on here. If you want to make a kind of zombie scene, you can bring this as yellow. Look, the feeling, the mood, I'd say, has changed to a sort of a zombie, I'd say, The Walking Dead feeling. And if you want to make a hospital, make this as blue, a bit more, not pinky, I'd say blue, like this. It's because of this light on here. And it depends about what you want to say to your user. It's a cyberpunk thing. You can bring colors like this, more purple. So try to understand what you want to show to your user. For this one, I want to make something, in blue, because I really love blue colors, like this. Of course, I will change this color on here. Look, now it's being better. And more than that, we have the shadows that I've changed, but there is other lights that I can change as well, like this. All right. This is the color temperature that you guys can change. Midtones, highlights as well. Okay. As you guys can see, it's a bit cold, the colors that I'm using on here, because it's really cold on here. Really. Okay. So the color is very influenced by, for example, the shadow works for the, just answer the brand questions. Shadows works for the dark places, dark shapes or color zones, I'd say. And the highlights works for the white. Okay, this is how the software will recognize this color balance. All right. And look, the areas that is dark, you get a bit of colors change it, just by drag on here. Okay. I like to use this, in order to give a better mood to my design. And let me show you another thing. Let me just review this. Okay, it's good now. Look. And you guys can create more, even more a highlight, on here, like this. Okay, so I want to create a bit more lights in my desk. I think this is too strong. Let me change this color on here. It's too strong. I want to do like this. For example, I want to make a light on here. It's quite easy, very, very easy. Okay, and I will duplicate this, and I will copy this layer. Just copy. Okay, Ctrl C. I Command C. I don't know. I always forget about Windows. And I will just duplicate it and that layer and place it this style on here. But I want to remove the linear, the linear shape that I was using. Look, this is the light, and with more I think radius that you guys can do is looks better, I guess. Look, I can change this color. Look how nice it is. The temperature, and of course the areas on here will get influenced, you know. Of course I'm not going to design everything on here, just show you the techniques that you guys can use. I will just copy this, you know, and duplicate this and paste the effects, and look, we have another color. Okay, I can resize this a bit more like this. And let's say that you have a backlight, you know, behind. I'm gonna show you a very nice thing. Here, behind of the desk, I will create a shape. Okay, you just need to create a shape like this. Okay, so if you guys have my package, you know, this one, you can save a lot of time. For cyberpunk things, I can do some things like this, you know, and if I click on here, I can change to others type of lights. Basically, the magic lights effect that I've created, this package, just show you, and in case you have this one, you can change the type of lights that you have. I really enjoy this one. Look how the mood are changing about my scene. Okay, this one here is very nice as well because it's blending with the color, you know, behind. And this is really, I think that I love. This color is getting influenced by the back color, you know. And here you go. Yeah, guys, I use Affinity. Yes, of course. This is Affinity Designer, and I think that's all for now. I can't see many stuff that we can build anymore on here. I think it's good. This, let me just change here this one. For example, this group here, this layer. Let me show you where this is coming from. I open my Telegram, this one, and I have this light. You know, can see it's behind of me. This light I did on here, and I will apply a color like this. Let me see which one. I need to select, not this one. I can use this one. This one here works fine, and I will change this color like this. Okay, look, the same way that I have on here, and look where the light is going. Okay, and yes, exactly, Kina. Vector art is so amazing because you have control over your shapes, you know, your design. And guys, I want to, you know, ask for somebody that use Procreate to do this. They cannot do this in Procreate. If you can do, alright, they would take a lot of time. You know, they would take a lot of time, really huge time. And I will change this one. I'm really curious about to see someone do this using Procreate. And I will apply on here behind the light, alright, like this. Why I'm telling you this? Because is it because the Affinity is better than Procreate? No, this is not what I mean. It's because vectors give you more control. I'm not a drawing person, to be honest. I never went to a art class, something like that. So my skills were built from 3D, things like that, more technical skills, graphic design stuffs. And I create illustrations basically, let me change this one. I create illustrations basically using vectors, Of course I like to make paintings, but not something very, highly, real paintings. It's more stylized. I'm changing here. None of them is working. About the layer, let me see here which one I can use. Ah, it's because of the color. Let me change here. Okay, this one. Okay, and I will apply the layer effects like this. Look, can apply more. And let me just change here. Look how nice this. I'm changing the angle of this transparency, you know, to follow the same perspective that we are creating. All right, like this. And here below we are going to add the light, but this light here, look, needs to be above, you know. You need to look at the reference. Look, if you want to get good at art, you need to look how the things works, how the world around you works. Pay attention to the objects, to the lights. Look, we have a lot of lights here below, a shadow. But of course, I'm not going to do all of these details. It doesn't matter right now to do that. But you guys can change the light source. This is a linear. I want to change this to elliptical and do this. Look how nice it is. Okay, like this. All right, and here we have a really nice design applied of light for lights, you know, lights effects. And guys, I think this is enough for you, I guess. But this is a real-time version that I did. But my version that I did officially is this one. Okay, I just need to change the background on here. And I hope it was very helpful to you about the techniques that I've used on here. Alright, and you guys can become my patron, okay, to support this channel and my content that I bring on here, because I really want to bring even more contents. I work as freelancer, but I want to be able to give all my time on here. What grid I'm using? Okay, let's answer the questions right now. I'm very excited to answer questions. And guys, just to let you know that I will enter on Discord. Let me open here Discord. I've created a Discord for the Vectorize Plus. Brandon is on there. Kina, there's the guys on there already. It's a new tier that I've created for the patrons, where we can talk with each other. You guys can ask me questions on there. You know, I will get on there later after the live streaming. Yes, exactly. Let me open here the isometric system like this. This is isometric, Brandon. Right? This is isometric. You can change the perspective on here. Let me show you. If you click on here, you can change the perspective. In case you guys want to learn how to vector in this grid, take a look at the past tutorial that I created past week. Okay, this is my advice to you. Of course, I could improve more the lights on here. You know, there's always new stuff to do, like this one. Let me see. I'm trying to select this. Ah, it's here. I can't. Ah, look how nice is this. That layer effects. I could do this as well. As I told you, you need to follow the lights. Needs to follow the environment. You know, the color right here, like this. If I make purple like this, this is I'd say Have. This is a Have. There is a lot of things that you guys can also do. Another thing here, it's called, let's see, white balance. The white balance also help you to give the mood. You know, you basically mix more colors and make this very appealing. You know, the white balance works here by the cool and warm. Okay, the temperature, like this. So I have my rule on here. If you guys look, let me show you. You know, if you are happy with the result already and you don't want to see any more things like this, you can quit. But let me show you. This is my room behind me, and I can change the color. This is very nice. I really love this. It's just to have a better background behind me, but this is what I can do here at my behind. Yeah, this is crazy. So guys, if you have questions, please let me know here on the commentary sections. And when I'm enjoying, to stay on here during the live, I really like to talk. I'm not a guy that, you know, I don't like to talk. I'm getting really anxious when I'm talking with people here on here. Because I'm afraid to get the internet lost connection. But you guys make me feel really, really good when I'm showing you all these techniques. And okay, let's see here the questions. I'm gonna enter on Discord later on, okay? Soon, I guess. Let's see here. It's too small here, the shot that I can see the questions. Guys, it's time to make questions, alright? You can download, if you are really are new here, download this template that I did, okay? It's free on my Node, right? And you guys can just change on here, and you can rewatch this to learn even more. Let's see. Thank you, Marcus Brito, for the donation once again. Thank you, 𝚅𝚎𝚌𝚘𝚛. Hey, GGB86. You guys have a really crazy name. So if you want to learn Affinity design, you can get in my Patreon. It's this link on here. I hope you can see. Really, this is one thing that I think is the best thing that is gathering people that loves graphic art, illustration, everything. And it's extremely a coffee price, really. On there, the subscription that we have on Patreon is not I'd say a dope subscription. And you guys can enjoy a lot of content that I've created so far, more than 40 tutorials and even upcoming tutorials, and my goal on here, you guys, is to bring the best tutorials ever. I've been working a lot with game art, and I want to teach everybody about this technical experience that I got working for games, and there's a lot of things that I want to share with you. And of course, I want to improve even more my quality on here, on the YouTube. The Rubik Cube on here. Let's see more questions. I don't like to get distracted by this. So, Brandon told us that he's tried about drawing. Look, about drawing, of course, is not easy, because we always are getting upset when we start drawing and the drawing is not going so nice. It's hard, but I'd say you need to understand yourself, your drawing. I don't know if you guys can. Let me try just to share my screen on iPad, because I'm using my desktop right now, but I have on here just to show you behind of the things that I create on here. Just a moment. Let me delete this. Look, you guys, I will show you behind of these scenes. Let me open the QuickTime in order to just to share the iPad screen. Just a second. Like this one. Okay, I hope you guys can see. This is my iPad screen. Okay, yeah, let me try to minimize this. Okay, look, this is my screen, and I do a lot of things crazily. This is my moment. I don't show everything to people because this is the moment that I like to test. Please let me know if you guys can see. Okay, this is, let me just place this one here. Look, I do a lot of tests. I've done here a new brush, just show you, learning to do new types of brushes. This is a raster thing that I've created, and let me just zoom this a bit more just to see. Why this is not zooming? If I create a layer on here, pixel layer, I will create a pixel layer, and I'm going to use. Let me know if you guys can see my screen, please. I hope so. And I was trying to understand more about the brushes that change the color like this, you know. I was learning from this design that I've created, you know. And let me open here other drawings that I was creating. Everything that I create is crazy, you know. When I bring things on here on YouTube, it's quite different. And I think you guys, if you want to learn how to draw, you need to practice, you know. You can try to, let me just this, you can try to make some sketches, you know, try to make some tests, you know. You need to explore. I think drawing process is when you release your hand to understand how the curves works. I'm not used to talk about drawings, you know, bring on here drawings exactly. It's more vector, but as you guys perhaps are struggling about drawings, try to learn at least how to sketch, you know, your drawing. All of this is without reference. Everything is by my mind, you know. And when you learn how to design some structures, you can do anything. I could vector this just using the pencil tool. Let me show you, like this. Okay, I could start to vector this like this. Okay, making the outline. Of course, some curves here is not so well applied, but the main concept is here. I could change this, like using the sculpt mode, like this. Okay, and this is so simple, I guess, you know, to create. But of course, with more you try to understand more yourself about your process and the process that I bring on here. I want to make things simple, you know, to you, and try to have these moments, you know. Don't spend a lot of time in social medias, you know. Nowadays, everyone is spending time on social media. I just won't go on there to experiment new techniques. I mean, post new techniques on there as well. Let me show you more things. This one has been shown. I did this one. It's just test, you know, trying to understand more character design stuffs, you know, like this. I'm showing you, you know, behind of all of these cameras, you know, the things that I sometimes like to create by myself. And this was the before, you know, the lesson that I did for the shark. So before I do the live streaming, I do some sketches, you know, to understand what I will bring on here. It's not so simple like some of you may think, you know. It takes time to bring always a new stuff on here. Like this new version that I've created for the shark, but with this kind of cute eyes, you know. And when I come up with the lessons, everything changed, you know. My mind's changed, and I like to create everything, you know, not very plain. I'd say I just do it, and things become simple to do, you know. This was the past version that I did for the shark, you know. So basically, guys, what I want to say to you, everything on here is not so perfect as some of you may think, you know. We have problems, and it's not so easy as many of the YouTubers show or Instagrams that show all of those nice designs, you know. Behind of all of this process, we need to spend a lot of time learning, always learning new stuffs, investing time, spending, you know, a bit of money to understand more over the courses that we get from the internet, you know. And you guys can get, you know, if you are new here, you can get on the Vectorize Club that we have a lot of tutorials like these ones, and you can learn more on there. Recently we did this tutorial, you know, that is called how to design your profile from this, I think it's from princess, you know, Disney princess, I guess. And I did this cartoon version, not cartoon, but stylized version, I'd say. Okay. But don't worry, you know, if you don't know how to draw at this moment, take your time to learn. Okay. And guys, I'm going to the Discord right now. Okay, it's been 1 hour, I guess, since we got into this tutorial. And if you are joining on here already, just rewatch all of this tutorial and try to create, you know, the stuff that I've shown here. Okay, I'm going to the Discord, and you guys can get on there from the Vectorize Plus. Vectorize Plus is called. Okay, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. Really enjoyed. And we have seen this amazing, you know, I'd say it was a very special tutorial for me, because we got 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Yeah, I think it's Cinderella. I haven't watched this movie yet. Okay, guys, thanks so much for your time. You know, really, thanks a lot. And I hope to see you in the next time in tutorial. See you. Bye bye. I'm gonna wait for you on there. Where is this Discord? Let me see here. Where is this Discord? I'm gonna be on there. I'm gonna talk with Kina and Brando. Go on there, guys. I'll be waiting for you on there. See you. Thank you. Thank you a lot.